Okay, let's jump right into this explainer and completely demystify the Micro and Small Enterprises Cluster Development Program. We'll just call it the MSE-CDP. If you're running a small manufacturing unit, an artisan workshop, or literally any microenterprise, you already know the massive hurdles of scaling up, right? Well, today we're going to unpack exactly how this specific government initiative can serve as your ultimate growth playbook. It's a real game changer that can fundamentally transform the way your business operates. We've got a clear roadmap for today. We're hitting the power of clusters, going inside the MSE-CDP scheme, checking out shared facilities, looking at the real data impact, breaking down the financials, and finally, your exact steps to apply. Let's kick things off with Section 1, the power of clusters, finding strength in numbers. So here's the absolute core dilemma for micro enterprises. How on earth can a small, independent business afford million-dollar testing equipment, advanced research labs, or massive effluent treatment plants just to compete globally? I mean, when you're operating out there all alone, the math just doesn't work out. No way. Well, the answer to this is the cluster. Think of a cluster simply as a group of enterprises located right near each other or within a specific value chain that makes similar or complementary products. By teaming up and grouping similar businesses together, you can actually pool your resources. You share the costs, and suddenly, you completely overcome those financial and technological roadblocks you were facing as an individual owner. It is literally finding strength in numbers. Moving right along to Section 2, inside the MSE-CDP scheme, the pillars of growth. What's fascinating here is how the scheme categorizes its support to target completely different business needs. They break it down into soft interventions and hard interventions. I like to think of this as the brilliant dichotomy of brains versus brawn. So soft interventions are the brains, right? They cover all those knowledge-building activities, workshops, training programs, and exposure visits so you can master modern marketing and digital tools. Then you have hard interventions, which is the brawn. This is the heavy-duty physical stuff. We're talking shared buildings, ultra-expensive heavy machinery, and cutting-edge testing labs. The scheme recognizes, quite rightly, that you absolutely need both the knowledge and the physical assets to actually grow. All right, Section 3, shared facilities and infrastructure, the gym membership for business. Let's zoom in on common facility centers or CFCs. These are arguably the absolute powerhouse component of the MSE-CDP. Think of a CFC exactly like a gym membership. Honestly, you wouldn't buy a $10,000 commercial treadmill to stick in your living room, would you? But you will happily pay a small user fee to go access million-dollar machinery alongside your peers at a local gym. A CFC works the exact same way. It gives your business shared access to highly expensive R&D centers, advanced design hubs, and precision testing equipment. You just pay an affordable fee to use them when you need them. Now, beyond just the shiny new machines inside the buildings, the scheme also looks at the literal ground you're building on. Infrastructure development is another massive piece of this puzzle. Because let's face it, if your local power grid is constantly failing or your drainage is a total mess, a new machine won't save you. The scheme actually funds the physical foundations of your industrial area, upgrading water supply, road construction, robust power distribution, basically ensuring your local industrial estate is literally built for scale. Let's look at the actual numbers in Section 4, the data impact, real-world success. To really grasp why this matters, you've got to look at the sheer scale of what this program has already accomplished. Since the scheme kicked off, a massive 606 projects have been approved across the country to empower local industry associations and small businesses. And out of those 606 projects, 364 of them are fully completed and operational right now. Another 242 are currently ongoing. We are talking about hundreds of active clusters out there, from garment clusters in Ludhiana to cutting tool clusters in Patiala. It just goes to show this isn't some bureaucratic pipe dream. This is real-world action driving manufacturing forward every single day. Okay, Section 5, the financial breakdown, funding the future. So based on the 15th Finance Commission cycle, the government is offering massive financial support here to set up those common facility centers. If your project costs between 5 and 10 crores, the central government will literally grant 70% of the cost. If it's a bigger project, between 10 and 30 crores, they grant 60%. And take a look at those special categories. If your cluster is up in the Northeast, Hill States, or has more than 50% women-owned or SC/ST units, the grant jumps up even higher to 80% and 70%. Basically, the government is absorbing the bulk of the financial risk so that you don't have to. But wait, the government isn't just going to hand over a 10 crore check to one person. To manage all these funds, you and your neighbors have to form what's called an SPV, a special purpose vehicle. It sounds fancy, but it's just a joint nonprofit entity, specifically a Section 8 company, formed by at least 20 of you and your neighboring businesses. The totally crucial point here is that the businesses in the SPV must contribute a minimum of 10% of the project cost. It ensures everyone actually has skin in the game, and that the facility is managed fairly for the benefit of the whole cluster. Finally, Section 6, Steps to Apply, Your Action Plan. The whole bureaucratic journey actually maps out quite logically. Step 1 is the diagnostic study. The government can fund an expert to come out, study your local cluster, and diagnose exactly what's holding your businesses back. Simple enough, right? Step 2, based on what they find, you group together with at least 19 other local businesses and form your nonprofit SPV. And then Step 3, your newly formed SPV submits a detailed project report, or DPR. This is your master business plan, showing exactly what machinery you need, how much it costs, and how it's going to help the cluster boom. Now, when you submit that detailed project report, you absolutely have to keep these scorecard priorities in mind. The state-level steering committee is going to be looking for projects that lift the entire community, not just one guy. They want to see exactly how many enterprises are going to benefit, your projected increase in production and exports, how much additional employment you'll generate, and whether you're aiming for green, sustainable manufacturing certifications. The more community value you can prove in your DPR, the higher your chances are of getting that approval. So take a really good look at the businesses operating in your immediate area right now. Are you ready to team up with them, form a collective vision, and actually leverage the MSE-CDP to build the cutting-edge infrastructure you all need to thrive? The funds are there. The framework is waiting. Now it's totally up to you to find your cluster.